Welcome to The Third Chair, a show about real people, real stories, real life. And here are your hosts for The Third Chair, Peter Grigg and Doug Bazeski.
Well, Doug, we are fortunate. We have Kenny back this week.
I know. I enjoyed the first episode.
I did too. He's a hoot. Great speaker. Great ideas about life. Kenny is a barber. He manages a shop, and we are very excited to have him back. We are on location.
We're back in this,
Yes,
shop.
this is not a green screen.
Yeah, Legends Barber Shop.
Legends Barber Shop in Colorado Springs.
Awesome.
We have another 45 minutes to an hour with Kenny. Please welcome back and enjoy Kenny Authier. Welcome to The Third Chair. This week we have Kenny Authier back with us. Barber, small business owner, coach, and when we left off last week, we had talked somewhat about what inspires you. And so one of the questions that I had is, if you were going to write a book on inspiration or a message that you were going to pass on to your kids, what would that look like? What would be part of that message?
Man, that's a question there, Mr. Peter. Wow. My message would be, don't take the small things for granted.
Ooh, that sounds intense.
I would say,
Like, give us an example of like a small thing that is meaningful for you that you wouldn't want your kids to ever take for granted. I mean, things like having a good relationship with a parent or with each other, or what are you thinking on that?
the small thing, what that would be is, don't ever think that tomorrow is ever guaranteed to you. I would say, I lost my father in May, and we spoke about how we were going to do the family get together, the family meeting tomorrow. Soon, and that day didn't get to come because he passed away.
Sorry. Does that type of thinking have a bearing on how you approach your kids in terms of trying to do what you can today rather than putting it off?
Yes, it definitely gives you a more sense of urgency on focusing about today, getting things done today, than waiting for it.
Yeah, I think that's a good piece of advice. And we're just sort of wrapping up with the last week. We talked a little bit about just inspirational issues, and I know you work with youth football. Is that right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to picture you out there, like with a whistle or yelling, "Come on, move your butt, you lazy!"
Oh
I
yeah.
just don't.
I'm that coach. Yes, you're right. You're definitely right.
Do you ever wear that hat?
Oh yes. I'm because my role in the youth coaching industry, the organization I'm a part of, that's what it is. I build structure for the children. I build structure for their everyday life, not just on the football field, but them as a person to be disciplined. Because a lot of people see a 10-year-old kid. I see a 10-year-old athlete with potential. I don't want them to waste it. I don't want them to waste it.
So, there's lots of coaches through history that are famously known for, caring about their athletes in all their parts of life. So, when you talk to these kids, you're talking as much about you make sure you stay in school and do your homework and treat your mama right and respect your parents.
Yeah, I'm the coach that if any of those things is a problem, you will be coming to see me. You will be dealing with me.
Oh, so some guy blows off his math.
Yeah.
You have a chat.
We have a chat, and there will be some consequences We have consequences because that's where the athlete doesn't fail on the field. The athlete fails in the classroom, being an everyday good person. That's where the athlete fails. That's why the athlete will never be seen. That's why a lot of athletes won't be seen, because they were great athletes on the field, but in the school, they didn't get their schoolwork done. You want to know what? When it came time to making a choice of whether to go hang out with their friends that are causing problems in their community, whether than picking up a book, they went with that friend. And guess what? Now they have a criminal record, and they are no longer able to be that athlete anymore. Now they're just somebody else.
Oh, man, boy, that is so true. And I guess the younger you can reach these athletes, the more chances you have of showing them a better way, showing them a different way.
Honestly, Mr. Peter, we're trying to go all the way down to the age of 4 years of age.
4
years of age, all the way to 12 years of age. That is my partners, as well as the coaches that help me coach. That's our goal.
Wow.
That is our goal. You want to know what? We can't start them when they're 13 years of age. Why not start them at 4 years of age?
It's almost too late by the time they're 13. I mean,
I agree with you on that. I definitely agree with you.
There's always hope for anybody, of course.
Yeah.
But it seems like you may have already picked some friends that are going to lead you astray.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids, by the time they're 13, they're smoking pot and drinking.
Yeah.
Seems like
We had some guests who said they started like at 12.
yes, you're right. And I mean, I think like I'm a little older than you guys, but for me it was like 16 or 17 before I was experimenting with stuff like that. Now it seems like they're 10 and 11.
Man, it seems like they're even younger than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you want to know what? Like, there's children that I've come across that have been, guy had to talk to Coach Kenny. They had to come see Coach Kenny, and what their issues were, they're only 9, 10 years old. And like, that's. I had a buddy of mine tell me something that you want to know what I am going to base my coaching strategy for my players, my athletes for. He said, look, Kenny, you want to know what? Somebody said, we need to build a youth for a better future and stop building a better future for the youth. So you want to know what? So now with me hearing that is stuck in my head. You want to know what? They have the technology is there already.
Sure.
They have the better future. The technology is there, but what isn't there is the youth. The youth being able to say, you want to know what? Like, I was a bad kid when I was young. I bad in the sense that I used to like to run around and do wild things. And my bad version of me as a kid versus what today's bad. There should be no reason why our children should be looking at 10-year prison sentences at the age of 12 years old.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
That's outrageous. And you know what? Instead of building the better future for the youth, let's build the youth for a better future. Let's get the youth taken care of and knock off this sense of entitlement that I've been coming across with.
Could you expand on that a little bit when you say entitlement? What kinds of attitudes are you seeing?
I am seeing 10-year-olds going on 25. And what I mean by that is when you have a 10-year-old athlete that is he's 10 years old, but things that are coming out of his mouth are more like something you would hear from a 25-year-old. That's not okay.
I mean, in terms of I'm going to go on welfare and get taken care of, or are you talking more like adult attitudes, like
vulgar language,
sex or porno,
vulgar language?
Vulgar language.
That's why I hope hope I never have to hear any 10-year-old talking about any kind of sex or anything like that. But vulgar language, you want to know the fact that you want to know I am speaking, you need to hear me, and you need to do what I say. That's what the 10-year-old youth is at right now today, is where they think that you want to know. And I don't say there's nothing wrong with listening to a 10-year-old youth if they are speaking with respect.
I was just going to say that sounds a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like you got a 10-year-old going on 25, where he, I know it, because don't get me wrong. You know what? We've had our deals where we've gotten into confrontations, speaking with somebody, and we say some choice words that come out of our mouth. But with that, as an adult, we know with those choice words, there are consequences behind those choice words. To where a 10-year-old will say those choice words, but not understand that there are consequences that come behind those choice words that you decided to use on your coach, on your mother, on your father. And that's where we need to work on getting them back in to the childhood phase of being a good, respectful person.
Well, that's a very important thought. Let's continue that discussion when we come right back. We'll get back to our guest in just a moment. But
Do you have a story to tell?
would you, yes you, like to be a guest on the third chair?
Send us an email and tell us about yourself and your story.
And please follow us on social media.
Now back to the episode.
Welcome back to the third chair. And then last episode, Kenny, you mentioned briefly that you had addiction problems.
Yes, sir.
And you've been clean. How long have you been clean?
I've been clean for 4.5 years, almost 5.
Congratulations.
It'll be 5 in January.
That's quite an accomplishment, sir.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yes. And can you tell us about your battle and inspire other people who are dealing with some of these drug problems?
Sure. I would say my battle was trying to diminish the pain. For a long time, I carried a lot of regret. Things I've done in my life, as well as things I have done and I don't understand why. And because I guess you would say, like, I'm not a religious person in the sense that I don't go to church every week, but I still believe, that thou shalt not hurt your neighbor.
Right.
And being in the military, when you do things in the military, sometimes that kind of gets contradicted. So, and one thing I did learn is addiction is no way to go, because the simple fact is the pain will never go away if you keep on feeding it, if you keep on trying to diminish it. The sense of like getting that next high because it's going to make me forget. You don't never not forget. You'll remember eventually. And the more and more you get into your addiction, you end up even remembering more than you really wanted to remember, and it turns into a spiral a downward spiral that you like. A lot of people, I have friends that they look at me and they sit there and they look at me and they say, I can't believe you're where you're at today, knowing how bad I was in my addiction. So my advice when it comes to addiction and battling it, the drug is never going to give you what you want. You're never going to have absolute satisfaction from whatever pain it is, whatever memory it is. So it's better off to just find a natural way of coping than to putting a substance in your body that not only is it going to physically diminish your health, it's going to also mentally deteriorate your mind. It's not worth it. It is definitely not worth it. Not at all.
So was there a point you realized, hey, Is
Oh, yeah.
not the way to go?
Oh yeah, and the first time, because I've been a recovering addict since I was 20, I'm 41. So the first time is when my first marriage ended, and she had to take my daughters. So because she had to prove a point that say, hey, look, you want to know what? I know you love your daughters, but they don't need to see this, and they don't need to see their father like this. She gave me an opportunity. She said, I'm going to take them away for 6 months. And when I mean away, we actually agreed on the terms that was happening at the time. And she says, in 6 months, if you're clean, then I will, you go back to being daddy. And I did not take that time, and I didn't use it constructively. But when I did get back to my children, I ended up having my younger children. And then I went through something where my last relapse, it was because I got scared, because I was dealing with the possibility of thyroid cancer. And it's still not. And what I ended up learning is it's still not an excuse. But I got scared. I got the news from the doctor, and I didn't even tell my wife at the time. I didn't tell my family, and I was freaking out. And I resorted back to my old ways and relapsed. Well, it was Christmas Eve. I started realizing that I couldn't hide anymore. I could not hide no more. My children were going to find out. And once they found out, I was going to lose all of my children. And that was it. And the only thing that has kept me going in the direction that I'm going is the love I have for my children, is the love of being their father, being here for them. So, you know what? I didn't get busted. I didn't go to jail. I didn't do none of that. I actually yelled and screamed at the top of my lungs, I need help. And ran to the VA the very next day and started outpatient group therapy. And that was all I needed, because once I started that, I started feeling better about myself, and I started being there for my children. I started doing living the life that I wanted, which is being my children's father.
Do you still do groups therapy?
Not so much, just because of the fact that my group therapy is being a coach, being here in the barbershop, as well as being my children's parent. I get to go out and go to the park now, and I don't have to feel like, oh, somebody's watching me, somebody knows I'm high. No, I'm just out there enjoying my children now. I go out there and be a coach. You can't, you can't be a role model if you're not really living the role model life. So that keeps me on the straight and narrow, as well as being my children's father. So.
Did you worry about your children and drugs since you had
To be honest with you, Mr. Doug, I have a daughter that is struggling with addiction right now as we speak. And, it's my oldest daughter. And I know that I did not teach her very good ways to cope with her pain. And what we go, it's, to be honest, as a recovering addict, the only way that addict changes is if the addict wants to change. It doesn't make a difference how much people, how many support that person has. If the addict doesn't want to change, the lifestyle won't change. So right now, what I am not doing is I'm not enabling her. But I do answer my phone if she wants to talk, and she knows that where her home is, and she knows she has a bedroom in her home. And when she's ready to follow the one simple rule, we can move on to bigger and better things. But trying to run in, because I did this, I run in after her in a burning building, grab her out. I did it several times, and guess what? She went right back in. So, like I said, the addict has to change. in order for any change to be even made.
So you're speaking metaphorically about running into the burning
No
building.
burning building. No,
you
no
actually
burning building.
didn't like have to go
No,
rescue her from a burning building.
No, I'm saying more in the sense, being in like a drug environment areas. That's what yes, I have gone there and I have scared everybody.
And then probably some of the places were probably dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Yes.
But like I said, I not only did when I ran in there and got her, I thought I was saving her. She literally turned right back around and ran right back in there. And then I had to think like, okay, you can't force someone to do something they don't want to do.
You know, that's sharing very personal stuff. And we appreciate your honesty, because the facts about addiction is that they say like 1 out of every 2 families to 1 out of every 3 families have someone in the family that is suffering with drug or alcohol addiction.
Yes.
You know, that's a really common, painful struggle for a lot of families.
Yeah, it is. And the thing, what I see, where my downfall was as her parent, as her father, was being there. You know, like when I took my selfish time to be an addict, that you want to know what, that gave my daughter a sense of feeling. Well, you want to know what, the addict must make him feel better than we do. And now, and I see the similarities with her. That you want to know what, that she truly believes that being an addict makes her feel better than her family does, and it's a lie. It's a myth. You know, it's not even nowhere remotely close to the truth. But that's the lie they'll live until they're ready to change. And you end up, you go down, you're like on your knees.
Yeah. I mean, I think the tricky thing is that when you do use drugs or a bunch of booze for a very short period of time, you can feel better. But it always wears off, and it's always worse, or at least the same place you were.
Well, the thing is okay, when you're it's crazy because you took it to feel better, right? You took it to numb the pain, numb the memories. Yeah, and then like you go through, and for the first, like I said, for the first little bit, you're like, oh man, I'm living the life of a rock star. This is cool. We're always partying. Everybody's cool. And then all of a sudden you go through a spiel where you're like, okay, I took it. I don't feel like a rock star. And I woke up 3 days later, and I feel even worse than I did before I took it.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. The spiral downward it goes worse and worse and worse. So like you felt bad the 3 days before, and then you go back to it, and then you feel even worse. And nothing says I feel better about doing any of it.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, let's hold that thought on addiction for a moment. We'll carry on with a few other thoughts about addiction when we come right back. Hi, this is Peter Grigg on the set of The Third Chair. Our company, 2 Men and a Duck Entertainment, are excited about supporting Quantum Leap Recovery, an audio podcast that talks about all issues about drug and alcohol recovery. So watch for it and listen to it, and it'll be a great time of learning, and hopefully it'll help people that are struggling with these issues have a healthier life. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to The Third Chair, and with Kenny, you're talking about your addiction problems.
Yeah.
How important was your family in helping you get through the addiction and keeping you off drugs and alcohol right now?
Okay, let's put it this way. Eminem, the entertainer, he has a song. Part of his song said, I did it for me, but subliminally, I did it for you. That's how I feel.
That's good.
You know, I like it. You want to know what? I had to do it for me because I wanted to be a part of them. But so like when somebody tries to ask me, because when you're talking to people with recovering from addiction, they're like, you cannot do it for someone else. You got to do it for you. But I did it for me because of them, because I wanted to be where they were, because I wanted to be that person that they needed me to be. So I very well deeply relate with that verse right there.
Eminem was also a recovery, and his sponsor in AA, at least for a while, was Elton John.
Really?
Yeah, and Elton John overcame alcoholism
Mhm.
rather late in life. I mean, I think he was like 50 or 55 when he.
I saw him in concert, and he says, I said to myself, "You're drunk. We got to do something."
Yeah.
And that's when he started the AIDS assistance.
Really?
Yeah, he's been raising money for AIDS, and
One of my favorite musicians, and like when I'm really needing some guidance, I listen to this gentleman. Is also a recovering addict. I think he's almost 30 years clean now. But it's Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw.
I didn't know
yeah.
that.
Yeah. They.
It's like Tim McGraw has some very. If you listen to his
I
work,
didn't, because his dad had addiction
yeah,
problems.
and it was just, but like, I was reading. I was in one of my doctor's appointments, and I decided to pick up a magazine for once and start reading about it, reading something, and I saw Tim McGraw. So I opened the thing and I read about it, and I read about how his addiction and how he overcame his addiction and how he continues to overcome his addiction. That man when he's on tour, he actually they exercise, his whole band exercises together. And I think that's pretty cool.
Keep an eye out for each
Yeah,
other.
for each other, yeah. I'm my brother's keeper.
Yeah, but also the personal trainers. Yeah. Def Leppard said the same thing when they were like in their mid-20s and rock and roll, and they were doing drugs up the wazoo, and now that they're in their 60s, they are drinking freshly made juice and have a personal trainer and are getting to bed early. And it's like it's so interesting to hear the changes.
Well, I made some changes too. Look, you want to know what? My whole burning the midnight oil. No, midnight oil ends at 9:30 every night for me. I'm in bed at 9:30 in the morning, and you want to know? I drink my smoothies.
Yeah, there you go.
I drink my fruit and vegetable smoothies, and because I like the pain that I'm in now, because of we'll just call it playing hard. Man, I'm grateful that I'm trying to take care of it or manage it now, because I don't want to be 60 years old and just mad at the world and bitter because I destroyed my body so much. So I'm trying to utilize whatever youth I have left now.
You raise a great point, and that is, even when you're talking about addiction issues, I mean, people are thinking, it's all about meetings and these things, but a lot of it is self-care.
Yeah.
Including eating better and getting sleep. And I know when I self-destructed,
finding a hobby, doing a hobby, you don't know, the exercising, and then as far like drawing, reading, like me, what I've learned is to take and have appreciation for the actual colors you see outside.
That's really good.
When I'm like hiking, especially in Colorado.
Yeah, I love to look at the aspens when
Oh
they change
my
color.
gosh! You want to know? Colorado has probably the most brightest colors you could ever see. When you're looking, whether you're watching the sunset, sunrise, or just looking at the mountain set, and when you look at it, it's a painting. It's like live, vibrant painting colors, and that's what I love about being out here is seeing the brightness, because I love color.
Isn't that kind of? Don't you have to kind of slow down to do that though?
Yeah.
It's so easy. I don't know what you would just get busy and run.
But that's why some people will like to hike or run in the mountains.
But look, honestly, I feel that my job, my profession, is probably the best profession in the world, because I get to slow down. I get to say, hey, you want to know what? Today, I'm gonna enjoy something else besides the pleasure of making money. Today, I'm gonna go take my son on a walk. Today, I'm gonna do this with my family. Today, I'm gonna visit a friend over here. We have pretty cool rock star schedules as barbers. Barbers, we one. You thought the banker's hours was good, being in at 9 o'clock. I don't have to be in until 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
I don't have to be in until 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
It's time to do some things in the morning.
I can get a lot done at 10.
Yeah,
So
that's
you take a nice walk.
Yeah, take a nice walk. You go for a nice jog.
Have you found that over the last years you have spent more time being grateful or thinking about things to be grateful about?
Oh, yeah.
And is that something you've actively chosen to do?
Yes, it has. Yes, because of the sense of we were just talking about, slowing down. I think a lot of my stress in my life was because I didn't appreciate what life really meant to me, what life really means to me. And what it means to me is to be a good person, a loving father, a mentor, a role model. And with all these things that it means to me, it allows me to appreciate more.
Good. Nice.
Hikes.
Hikes. Only thing is funny. I was driving. Has anybody been through Independence Pass?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never go through that ever again. I'll never go through that ever again. No.
I don't like narrow passes.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither do I. But it was cool. It was cool to see the trees. But those, no.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. I don't know. I guess the face between dealing with Independence Pass or a 10-year-old athlete that wants to tell you what they understand
I'll
the
take
world
a
to be.
10-year-old athlete. I'll take a 10-year-old athlete. I will definitely take the 10-year-old athlete. I'll definitely take the 10-year-old athlete.
I have a problem with heights, and one of the things they say, well, do you fear falling? And most people say no. I just have a problem with heights, but I also fear the falling. So,
you want to know what? Reality set in for me because I was Evil Knievel as a kid. I did all kinds of stuff. I dirt bikes.
Do you do some ramp jumps?
Ramp jumps, all of it. You want to know, like taking my dirt bike and making a ramp and driving it off into the lake and soaring through the air. But
into the water with your dirt bike.
Yeah. My dad was not very happy about that.
No, I was going to say that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to take the engine apart then and make it work again.
So.
Oh.
I knew guys who did that.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, reality. I think I hit the ground one time. And that was when reality hit because I have a problem with heights now. But I didn't have these problems when I was younger, but now I have a big problem with them.
Oh, that's hysterical. Of course, Evil Knievel is getting paid good money to jump over cars and stuff. I imagine the bucks for you weren't as good.
No, a lot of broken bones, a lot of parts that needed to be replaced on things that my dad was like, why couldn't you just stay on the ground?
It's not exciting underground.
These are some of the experiences that make us who we are today.
Yeah.
Well, I guess on that note, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll talk about something when we come right back.
Okay.
We sure hope you're enjoying this episode of The Third Chair.
Would you like to be a sponsor for the Third Chair?
We would love to have you join us to keep the show going and also help your business. Send us an email about your product or company and let's talk.
And follow us on social media.
Now back to The Third Chair.
Yes.
We are on business business.
Welcome to the third chair.
Welcome to the third chair. Is that where we are? The third
The
chair.
third chair.
Yeah, we call it that
Third
because
chair.
there's like 3 chairs,
Uh-huh.
and the
Although
third chair
Peter is
for the
called the
guest.
fourth
Yeah,
chair.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
Catchy.
we're here with Kenny,
And we're going to
And
talk about the barber business.
the barber business, because there's I think in modern society, the idea of a trade gets a bad name.
Yeah.
You got to go to college to study something that's useless.
Uh-huh.
Where there's a lot of honor in being a plumber or an electrician
Yeah.
or a barber. I mean, my favorite is the plumber, because who else gets to come to your home on a Sunday to declog a toilet and require you to pay $400 cash?
To see his butt crack.
Yeah.
And it provides entertainment.
That's right, yeah, a cheeky fellow. And so the barber business. So So run us through. You're running a barber shop. How does a barber shop make money? I mean, the obvious one is you pay for a haircut, but what else is involved? There's got to be other things too.
Yeah, there's things that are involved, like a lot of barbers, barber businesses that are owners. We pick up a product, a line of product, a brand, and this brand with our product is another source of income for the shop.
Sure.
Mm.
And these, I'm guessing, wouldn't be stuff that you'd find at Walmart or King Soopers. No.
Yeah, man, no.
So a higher quality
Yes,
hair
higher
product.
quality, yes, hair product, as well as in this barbershop we do booth rents.
A booth rent.
Booth rents. So each individual chair,
Mhm.
we charge an individual weekly a certain amount of money.
And so that then they can do as many cases, cut as much hair.
Well, yeah, what they are is technically what each barber in this shop is they're our subcontractor. They just work under our brand,
Mhm.
and they pay like a rental
Sure.
fee
Yeah.
each week, and it varies. And I think the highest that somebody can pay could possibly be up to $250
For a week.
For a week per
But
week.
but that covers they're not paying utilities on top of that, or
No,
snow removal,
no, that's
that's
just
it.
the same,
One
that's the
fee,
same,
one
one
fee.
fee, same fee.
So
every
do you
week.
have booth renters and regular employees, or are they all booth?
No, they're all booth renters in this location. I would say, but then there's other places where they run off a commission. So when you're making commission, when you're running a barbershop that has commissioned barbers in it, that means that barber only makes a certain amount of their money that they actually get made of each cut. And we actually have some nifty ways of generating revenue. And nothing illegal, but
Yeah.
nothing illegal. I'm just saying it's just
karaoke night
it's
or
pretty cool. No, I mean, a lot of barbers will get into rentals.
Yeah.
Learning, getting some properties, Airbnb style, or
Sure.
just simply say, hey, you want to know? I have this house. You can rent it from me, and then This is why I said we have a pretty cool schedule, because barbering allows us to be in 3 places at one time.
Well, I saw on YouTube there's this famous barber who wrote a short book called something like Pocket Change or something like that. He's a big name celebrity barber. I don't know, but the whole premise of his book is that you have a big cash business, and that every day you should simply take $20 and put it into savings.
Yeah.
And that over a lifetime of career, and assuming you're getting even a small interest rate, it's an easy way to save $20,000 or $30,000.
Yeah, it is.
If you take 200 days times $20, that's $40,000.
See, did you?
Yeah, he's a numbers guy.
Yeah,
Yes. This is Doug Wazeski, co-host, ex-Department of Defense auditor. Yeah, exactly. Numbers guy, yes. And so I think it's fascinating. Now, I know people are wondering, okay,
No, actually, it's only 4,000.
4,000, yeah, we do it over whatever, 20 years or whatever.
Oh yeah, and then it multiplies.
Yeah, how many haircuts can you do in a day? I know it's gonna vary depending on what someone wants, but if there was an average, and suppose there was a unlimited supply of people, they were just in the parking lot waiting with a number to come in right away.
I see where this is going.
How many haircuts can you do?
Well, $1,000 worth of haircuts, which will probably put you at 20 heads a day.
20 heads a day.
30 minutes per haircut.
30 minutes a haircut.
So that will definitely generate you $1,000 a day.
Wow. And then I know sometimes, like, if a man's having a haircut, you might ask, would you like to shave?
Yes.
Other services.
Oh,
as
there's
well.
all. Yeah. You want it. The haircut is the foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get your client in your chair, that's when you started letting them know, that we can provide this service for you, that service for you. And once you get your client feeling comfortable in your chair, that's when they're like, here's my wallet. I do need my eyebrows plucked. I do need this done. I do need that done.
I can see how this would go. I come in here for a haircut, and he'd say, Peter, we got some stuff that grows hair back.
I've been wanting to tell you guys about it, but I'm not promoting something that I'm not 100% guaranteed that it's gonna be able to put hair on your head. But I know a great tattoo artist that'll get that hair filled in for you.
Can he put some tattoo me in some braids?
Tattoo you in some braids. Yeah, possibly. I'll check with him tomorrow.
Either that or I've always wanted like a giant spider in the middle of my head.
Oh man! You remind me of that movie Expendables.
Oh really?
I used to watch a movie called Expendables. It was about mercenaries, but one of the guys was a tattoo artist, and he had a bald-headed character in it. And he was like, I wonder if I could just put like a little Charlotte's Web on the side of your head, like peeking out your ear. I was like, oh man.
No, wasn't that one like with like a whole bunch of like famous stars?
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone,
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Jason Statham.
That's exactly the movie.
Yeah, and then they made like 12 more of the movies.
You want to know? I can't stand when they do that.
Yeah.
You want to know? Maybe 2, maybe part 3, but don't go past that. It starts getting into like where
Sometimes
it's
part
redundant.
2 is pretty bad.
Yeah, part 2 is pretty bad.
Part 2s are often really bad. Yeah.
Not unless you watch Toy Story.
Toy Stories are great.
Yeah, Toy Story is pretty good.
And of course, this podcast, The Third Chair, we're like currently on about episode, 31.
Well, that's great though.
Yeah,
that means you guys are having somebody that's saying like, we're interested in this show. Just like I'm interested in this show.
Yeah, we get very excited when like guests, really like to come talk with us. We're very excited about that. We're also very excited when they actually like show up for filming. So, we're an easy bunch to please.
All we gotta do is get you in here. I was gonna say that's fine. I can deal with that.
Yeah,
it's like the barbershop. You get them in there, and then you get
and then it's all that. The easy part the hard part is getting them in the chair.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, now we're at your place, but back in our studio we have straps.
You strap them down like, hey, when we're done, we'll let you out.
Yeah, when you're done, we'll let you out. Yeah, that's
if you struggle too much, you got to do 3 shows.
Oh my goodness. Well, on that note, we'll be back in just a moment to wrap things up. We're going to talk about tattoos and a cool vehicle that you operated when you were in the United States Army, right?
Yes, sir.
When we come right back. Hi, it's Peter from the set of The Third Chair. I just want to put in a good word for my good friend and owner of 9 Round Kickboxing in Colorado Springs, Melissa Lance. Her studios provide a phenomenal workout in 30 minutes. I know I've benefited from it over the last 2 years. I've lost over 30 pounds and really appreciate the encouragement, the excitement, the expertise of the trainers. It's a great workout. I encourage you to check it out. That's 9-round kickboxing in Colorado Springs. Are we back?
We're back. Yes,
We're back. Yeah, we're back. All right.
Welcome to the third chair.
We're welcome to the third chair. That's right. There's 3 of us here at the barber shop with Kenny,
Hi.
and you have so graciously answered our questions. We're so grateful.
We both have daughters with lots of tattoos.
Okay, I'm looking at the armbands. I am a Spartan.
Well, that's because I did the Spartan race.
Nice.
Yeah, this year my 3 sons and I did it for Father's Day.
So what is a Spartan race?
It's exactly what it says it is. No, it's actually because it's actually like trying to like show you. Remember the movie 300?
Yeah.
King Louis Leonidas.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do things. There's obstacles you're overcoming.
Okay, so you're running in, going around obstacles. You have to crawl through mud.
Can you help each other? Because like your 5-year-old.
Oh no, my sons did the children one, and I did the adult one by myself.
Okay.
My sons, yes, they did help each other.
Oh,
They
that's
did
great.
help each other, and I was very proud of them on that day.
It sounds like fun. It actually does sound really fun. Afterwards, do you guys
No, I
go
wish
eat
my
a
daughter was
steak
here.
or wings?
No, because we're filthy. We're covered in mud, as well as you want to know what. It's fun until the guy says, "Go out there," and yes, there are some obstacles you may die on. Okay, let's get it done.
Let's get it done. Oh, that's so good. So you were in the United States Army, and
Yes,
you operated a piece of equipment that I thought was so cool. I wrote it down. The Avenger low-level air defense system, which means it had some sort of missiles you could shoot at.
Stinger missiles.
Helicopter Stinger missiles.
Yes.
And you had a 50 caliber mounted on a Humvee.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, that sounds like so cool. I bet you never got caught in traffic jams.
Oh no! But if you let my drill sergeant tell you, I picked the worst MOS to join the military. But to be honest with you, like that was something amazing to be a part of, be an Avenger crew member because of would you say testicular fortitude it took because that weapon system does not have any armor plating on it at all.
Oh wow! So you're kind of like out in the open.
Yeah, I'm a duck in water.
Yeah.
I'm a sitting duck in water.
Your MOS, and then on your days off, you run the Spartan obstacle. Yeah, okay, I see what this is. Yeah, where are the obstacles you may die? All right. And then you just couldn't get enough of the Avenger system, so you had it tattooed on your body.
Okay, and yes, I did. I very well did because there's something that I think that anybody that has served in the military should take great pride in, And it's these shows, movies about superheroes. I truly believe that they are talking about the military people. And what I had done was I did a tribute of my military time and service on my back, but I took the name of a movie called Suicide Squads
Oh, yes.
and incorporated it into a back piece on in my back. So
Well, of course, like the word Avenger has a lot of flexibility too,
Yeah,
you know, with
yeah.
the Iron Man and the whole crew.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, so we're in the final moments, and we're going to show a picture of the tattoo, by the way. Maybe several
Okay.
others. And just one last thing, if people would like to make an appointment to get their hair done, a shave, a cut, those type of things, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
You could call us at 719-637-9000. That is a number to the shop. And myself or any one of the barbers that are in here will be able to take care of anybody that needs a haircut or wants some kind of service that we can provide them.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you, Kenny, for gracing us with your presence. and
Thank you
talking
for
about
having me.
Enjoy.
It was really
It's
awesome.
been all right. We've had a lot of fun filming this.
Yeah, it was really
and you
cool.
got a great establishment here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you for everyone joining us. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and of course, share the episode with your friends if you're enjoying what you're seeing. And also, if you are in the Colorado Springs area, or if you're watching us nationally and you think you might like to be a guest, give us an email and we'll put that information out there as well. From the third, Two Men and a Duck, and the third chair, good night.
This has been the third chair. Want to be a guest? Want to sponsor our show? Send us an email. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on social media.